I had some specific things to talk to you as well, and also some general things. But would you like to? Do you have something to say? Like, how is everything with you?
Mm, Things have been going relatively slow on my end. Things are fine. I'm right now waiting for funding to be approved, and I want to do like a bigger research project later this year on like an inherently interpretable architecture. So basically, the main idea is like following the sort of AI seed agenda, like trying to build an interpretable AI, scale that up, so do some like rigorous research on that, and basically sort of align that under sort of conditions where I expect or like want to do research on alignment being scalable in certain ways. But the idea is that you can sort of trust the system to take over its own development in an aligned fashion, and that you can sort of develop this in a controlled setting, more or less. And I'm sort of working towards that, but pretty early stages still.
Like mixture of scalable oversight and interpretability, like that.
You could say that, yeah.
Okay. Like, how do you do this? Like, have you done your masters, and are you doing these things as some fellowship, or are you doing these things for some company? Or how do you do this research?
Yeah. So basically, I just I'm like completely independent. So I'm just looking for funding opportunities. The main one is the Long-Term Future Fund, so you can just apply there without any. Actually, I just dropped out of my degree at university because it just was going too slow, and like a lot of the knowledge was irrelevant for AI safety.
Which degree did you drop out, like masters or bachelors?
I dropped out of the bachelor's.
Which bachelor's were you
But
doing?
I was in cognitive science.
Okay.
Read a lot of stuff about like people tackling the alignment problem and so on, and I sort of just tried to upskill until I felt like, okay, I think I'm capable of critiquing this work that other people do competently. Let's sort of try to get connected with a few people, present them a few of my ideas, critique a few of their ideas, sort of see if the reception is good or whether I'm overestimating myself. And after I could sort of confirm, okay, yeah, people are really interested in like my research, my conceptual research, I basically sort of got people, like actually multiple people said to me, hey, I think your research should be funded, or like you should be supported in just doing your type of conceptual research. And so those people were then just references for me to do an application for the Long-Term Future Fund. And this is sort of still how I'm doing it, but now I have a network of colleagues, and so they sometimes just recommend me to like different projects, or like projects where they need AI safety experts. Sometimes like people just recommend me, and then I can participate there as well and get money for that. But mainly I'm just getting money from applying to AI safety funding explicitly, Long-Term Future Fund, or like individual donors that want to.
There was one non-linear one also that I recently heard. You know about that?
Yeah, exactly. I also just sent my application to non-linear together with the Long-Term Future Fund. Whatever works there.
I thought to apply there only, but they were asking for budgeting and some other things about which I did not know, like the application procedure that they had. And you mentioned conceptual research. What do that exactly mean? I never heard this term.
So conceptual research for me is like a bit of a precursor to theoretical research. So conceptual research is basically, okay, what is the right vocabulary to talk about this topic? How can we find out? How can we make sure that we have like clean concepts and not missing important areas or important questions? So it's basically the science of how do you ask the right questions, and it's sort of philosophical like groundwork in a field.
So like the intermediary stage between philosophy and theoretical science.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this thing?
I started 2022 as an independent researcher. Previously, I had sort of done a lot of stuff just, parallel to my studies at university. But basically 2019 I dropped out, participated in, no, sorry, not 2019, I meant 2021. I dropped out, participated in like a AGI safety fundamentals course, and got connected with a bunch of people just to sort of make sure I'm like, I'm on the right track and so on. And then at the end of 2021, I applied, and now I've been doing it for like 2 years.
I don't know what's the reason, but to all the places that I have applied recently, because I started applying to places recently, from most places I'm just getting rejections only. I don't know what is the exact problem. My application pattern is not good and all. Last year in July 2023, I realized that my course is completely chaotic. It is not relevant to AI. The thing is, in India only, I could have done some course that was related to some computer science or physics, but I specifically had to study AI. That's why I came to Italy, because the course that we have right now supposed to have data science and AI stuffs in the third year. But in July 2023, we got to know that those subjects are removed from our course, and only telecommunication and electronics subjects are left for us to choose from. So it was already not very relevant, and it became even more irrelevant to me after July 23.
So it's just a waste of time, effectively.
I got really disappointed, and it was a chaotic thing for me. But that's why I went to India for like whole semester, because there was nothing relevant to me for me to study. When I came back here, I thought I'm just thinking about completing my degree anyhow and just getting the degree with like no interest in it, because it does not make sense. But I will have to get a degree. It's like that for me. I literally thought about dropping out for like strong 2-3 months, but then many people suggested me to just complete the degree only because you have already done 2 years, so you should also go for the last year. Why to just leave it for 1 year? I got all these kind of suggestions. So for now, I'm thinking about doing my degree, but along with that is not my major focus anyhow. It was never. So I'm also trying to I talk to people, what should I do with my life in future, and then I got major suggestion that I should do a PhD directly after my bachelor's. And with your approach of doing independent research and all, then what I find is that there are a lot of soft skills that I need to learn for doing research, like hard skill, actual writing thing, concept thing that I can do, but the soft skill, like as you said, the funding, that the proposal that we have to write, how to make the budget to send, and other like these kind of things, how to collaborate with professors, how to write paper in using all those like citation thing and writing thing, all the soft skills I need to learn that, because I never learned that in my college, in my school, like, and I never even got chance to explore that. For now, it's like I can learn those things, but it's like if we are supposed to learn this thing in PhD, then why not learn and get a degree and get a PhD by the same time? Why to learn it independently? Because till now, whatever I have learned in AI safety, whatever I have done, it's all independent. Everything that I have done till now, it's all independent. Nothing I have just got all kind of hindrances and resistance from my course, from my college, like no support in the first place. So for now, I'm thinking to like at least learn from professors, learn from people who are in the like actual way of learning, that is through PhD and all. Basically, if you go in that website, in the Zenny segment, I have written the 4 or 5 methods that I'm looking forward to, like how will I go forward. And among them, for me, PhD is the top priority, and then it's the fellowship, and then like independent research for me is like the third for option, because I don't even know how to do that, and the soft skill that I need to learn for that, I need some kind of mentorship anyhow. And I'm thinking about, if I have to learn only, I should learn it through PhD only. Why don't you try to go for PhD? Why didn't you choose that? Is it allowed in Germany or is it not allowed?
I could have done it. Like there's a fast track program, but I just hate institutions, man. Like it's just emotionally difficult for me to like do all the paperwork and so on. Like I can do it if it's just for the AI safety application and so on, but if I need to go to the university website all the time and sort of do stuff there, and I just have emotional difficulties with the system, basically, because I have a history of depression, and sort of dropping out of my university studies and so on was part of what helped me.
It is very relatable. Like documentation is one of my trauma points. I don't like documentation a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, it just sort of worked better this way, and like now I'm functioning well, and so I don't want to risk changing that too much. But basically, like if I wasn't sort of psychologically like damaged about it, then maybe PhD would have been a good option for me. Like my parents were really confused. They were like, yeah, just you can do it quickly and so on, you should do it and so on, and people will respect you and all that stuff that they would also worry about.
Same goes for me.
But yeah, like just for me personally, I feel a lot more productive just on what I'm currently doing. And
but your course of cognitive science, it seems way closer to AI safety. Like obviously not close, but at least closer than like signal system and telecommunication and electronics.
Yeah.
So
yeah. it's also closer than just pure computer science.
Yeah.
Cognitive science was pretty good. Just as an orientation, just as sort of also like an environment of people to talk to. Not all the coursework particularly, but like pretty good like overall direction for like yeah.
And how did you learn all these things, like the writing proposal, the soft skills of research? How did you learn that? Do you have any course? Or?
So I think I have some soft skills to begin with because I'm I don't know, I'm really good at giving presentations. I was really good in school with like various soft skills around this. Like I think I just have good intuitions about it, or like maybe school also prepared me well for it, and I don't like really distinguish it. My two parents are both like pretty successful academics, so I think I sort of just picked up some stuff from them as well, like them just sort of reading over stuff from me and commenting it, like back in the day. For my AI safety related proposals, like the first long-term future fund proposal was also just like I had a couple of people who were willing to be my references. Like I asked one person, like, can you look over my proposal with me? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then we sort of looked at it together. We had a call where we just went through the proposal, and they sort of pointed out a couple of things to me that I should change. And yeah, for the most part, like my proposals are not like perfect. Like I'm more honest than I should be about stuff. Like I sort of mentioned, okay, like I had this history of depression, and like so still like working on a few things.
And how did you find these references that you're talking about? Like how did you get them?
Just trying like a bunch of stuff. So one thing is just in this AGI safety fundamental stuff, there's this Slack channel, and they used to do this coffee thing. I'm not sure how it's called, but they sort of ran this program where you could just sign up for, and everyone who signed up for it will be matched every week with one other person who's also signed up for it.
Yeah, like
and like
okay.
Yeah, and I just sort of randomly got connected to like I got connected to a bunch of people that were not helpful for me. But still like interesting to sort of, you know. But then eventually I also got connected to a person that was helpful. And other than that, just basically reaching out to people, like looking at their research, thinking about like an interesting thing that I could add there, or like how I can propose how things like intersect or whatever. And then I just reach out to them and say, hey, you know, I would like to talk about this topic. Like, are you available? People are generally like free to have at least one call with you. And then you can see. I think I have pretty good like people skills in terms of making a good impression when I talk to a person for the first time. So I think I have some natural soft skills there that sort of help me. But like major thing with this sort of person who helped me quite a bit with the first proposal was just I met her through this like Slack thing, and we just talked. I didn't even know who this person was. I just sort of started talking about my research because she seemed interested. And then after like 40 minutes, she said, okay, I'm convinced, like I want to help you get funding or whatever, right? And it was a bit surprising to me. I think it's sort of lucky, but it's also like just an opportunity that you unlock if you sort of do stuff like this.
If you try 10 things, at least 2 will work out.
Yeah.
So what are you planning for now? How do you see going forward? Just doing this kind of independent research, or you actually want to get into some company or something?
Well, so for the project that I want to do right now, like I will need to have like some organization around that, like either me joining an organization or like starting one myself. Of course, under the condition that like I will get support when starting that. Like if people are interested in helping people launch new AI safety organizations, then I might jump onto that. But for now, like for this year, like the prototyping phase for this project can still be done with a really small team, like 2 or 3 people would be enough, and I can just do this independently for this year. So right now I'm still trying to just like the first half of the year, basically I'm just writing stuff. I'm really trying to practice publishing more and writing more, because that's sort of one of my sort of slight trigger points. I have a lot of good ideas, or people give me a lot of good feedback on my ideas when talking to them, but I don't have them all like orderly, nicely written down. I need to sort of get that fixed first, basically, and then sort of later part of the year, I want to just do the prototyping thing, see how that goes, and if it goes well, then I can show this to potential funders or potential organizations and say, do you want to collaborate on this, or can I join in on this, or are you interested in sort of supporting a more ambitious version of this, basically? But I need to sort of figure out how the research looks like before I can go around and know where to go with that, basically. So I don't have a super concrete plan for that. I might be able to join Conjecture because there's some overlap with their with their interpretability thing. Like they want to have like brain simulation or like cognitive simulation, Coxin they call it. And yeah, like my research is sort of adjacent to that, so maybe I could join them, but I don't know yet.
Okay. So this is one of the soft skills that I was talking about, like how to convert our thoughts into written papers and publishing and all these things. I'm also learning this. So you are have you published any paper on your own or not till now?
I only published the stuff on the I led a research team on the AI safety camp last year, and we published that.
You were part of AI safety camp last time, right?
Yeah. I applied as a research lead with the organizers, and they said, yeah, we want your project. And then I just got a couple of people for my team, and we did some conceptual research basically.
Okay. And
published that. The output was okay. Was a good leadership experience, I guess. Project management and so on. I hadn't ever done that before. Not super proud of the result, but good experience.
Okay. Well, good to know your way of going around. I am also trying to do something. I don't know where will I land and how things will go. Let us see.